subscribe to the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, this is Dylan Smith. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Amber Colvin. I'd like to thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Talk Racing. We want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. We have Jason Langley and our guest Jack Dodson with us on the show tonight. So how was your guys' New Year?
Happy New Year to you guys too over there. Don't forget me. Just leave me, drop
and
me to the curb.
Roger Brehm.
I tell you, I can turn the camera off from you. You know that, right?
I know. I'm pretty sure my voice can be heard though.
See, just drop you right out, just like that.
Ah, it's fine. Anyway, so how was your guys' New Year?
My New Year was okay. Better than my Christmas. I had pneumonia over Christmas. So.
Ooh, well, that's no fun.
Yeah, remember he was going to be on here before. He was the one I told you had pneumonia.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jason?
At 12:01, I fell asleep. So.
Wow.
I watched you drop, and that was about it.
Oh, wow. No fun at all. Jeez, guys.
I stayed at home, nice and safe, champagne in hand.
For sure you did. I'm sure you did, Raj.
Well, 12:01, I was asleep. I was going on my way to sleep too. So.
I was up till around 2.
Yeah, I was up to about that
2:30.
I decided to watch some movies.
Yeah, they had a lot of good movies on that night. I was like, I can't go to sleep. There's too many great movies on right now. Oh. I ended up clicking after movie, and then I was like, I'm about to crash. I need to turn the TV off.
Yeah, I'm going to jump over here onto something different, and it's not racing too much, unless you count the football flying through the air as racing. NFL, all the firings that went on.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh. How many, was it like 8 or 10 coaches?
It was 8 last count.
Yeah,
General
8 was the last
managers,
count. 8
the head
that
coaches.
got fired. I was like, holy cow.
Already see them reaching out to other people already, you know.
And my Redskins are in the playoffs. I'm very happy.
Vikings also.
Yeah.
You'll get over it. We'll kick your butt.
Yeah. Oh,
Falcons.
That's not happening.
Yeah, well.
That's not happening, Raj. Not happening. We play Seahawks next. I'm excited for this game. I'm glad we're in the playoffs. I was thrilled when that's how
Did you see the Vikings Redskins game earlier this year?
You know what? We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
That's the past. This is the future.
This
is the present.
That was a shot of the future for you.
No, I don't think so. It's gonna be different this time around. It's gonna be very different this time around. Just wait and see. Yeah, let's stop me on football because I'll just keep going and going.
Yeah, then we'll just have to turn your mic off and everything.
With my Redskins. Whoa, I'm pretty sure that mic could pick me up just fine.
I could turn those off and just have mine.
You still hear me though.
We're crazy. We're crazy Jacks. So get used to it.
He's family, so I'm so sorry. Me and him are just.
Yeah, we have to get more of the stories. I don't know if I told you or not. We do take you out to eat after the show.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Hey, if you got other things you got to do, you got to do.
Yeah, I can't because school started.
I appreciate it, but I got something else. I got to get her back home. So
no problem.
Yeah, and
Me and Jason have no problem filling our bellies.
Oh, I know you guys don't,
Got a
but
restrictor plate on that.
I can't during the night because I have a school night, and also I have my youth starting up next week, so this will be my last show for a while until youth stops.
Oh.
Raj. So I'll be back when I can come. Jason and all them will still be doing the show, and of course Raj. So just letting y'all know about that.
Cool.
Love you too, Raj. Love you too.
Okay.
I feel it. Stop.
All right.
It's
We got the off-season schedule coming along. January 10th to 12th, pre-Daytona 500 testing at Daytona. 17th to 18th, second round of testing, and that's going to be at Charlotte.
They were running 193 there last time.
The cars were fast. I was there, and the cars were fast. They look good, but they have a whole new sound to them.
Oh my God!
Compared to what they were before, and it is really good. I mean, I think it's going to be a great.
Who was it? It was back a few years ago. Somebody did something to the exhaust and made their NASCAR Cup car sound almost like an Indy car. Do you remember that?
I remember hearing something about that, but I don't remember who it was. The cars just have I was down there, and it was just completely different than what you normally hear from the cars.
You mean you won't have to have earplugs? Or still just as loud?
Well, you're still just as loud, but it has a different pitch to it. The motors have a different pitch to them now. The cars, you can make them up you can make them like they are on the street. You can pick them up just that easy. So it was really something. I mean, I really think NASCAR did a good thing with that.
Good deal. Okay, on the 19th, National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame ceremonies coming up in Charlotte. And then 21st to 24th, they're going to have the Charlotte Sprint Media Tour.
Nice.
And then the third class of the Hall of Fame on February the 8th will be inducted. And then NASCAR preview in Charlotte on February the 9th.
And where's the countdown at on here? Isn't it?
52 days, 18 hours, 12 minutes, 16 seconds.
And counting.
Okay.
We're all very
More
excited.
and more of the teams coming out with their new paint schemes for the 2013.
Mm-hmm. We were looking them up one show. A lot of them look really nice.
Yep. Danica Patrick, she's going to be picking up 10 races with Turner Motorsports. I think that's correct, right, Jack?
Right. She's going to Turner Motorsports, and Casey Keene and Brad Sweet are going over with their sponsor. They're going over to JR Motorsports. They're going to run about 16 races with JR Motorsports. And I found out today that it's a definite deal that Tony's going to be driving for Richard Childress in the nationwide race.
With the number 5 car again?
Number 33. 33 car for Richard Childress at Daytona in the nationwide race.
And Tony is what, 4 for 6 or 4 for 5?
Something like that.
Out of running out there at that nationwide race.
And he had a good shot last year.
Yeah. Nationwide, our buddy Robert Richardson.
Robert!
He, at this point, they're not planning on racing. De Niro, come on.
I know.
The big money thing.
Hopefully,
I mean, me and Terry and a bunch of other people are working at trying to get Terry set back up.
Awesome.
We might keep his shop alive and race using their cars.
All right. Yeah. What's the info on Terry, by the way? Besides that, is there anything else at all?
Well, let's see. She has to do. We're trying to get set up to do some private testing out at Talladega for ARCA for the officials, so she can be signed off for the ARCA race, and also so she'll be able to run the Daytona ARCA race and probably run the nationwide Daytona race as well.
Oh, awesome!
So is R3 going to be they're not going to be running anything next year, or this?
Doesn't look like it. I was texting Robert probably day before yesterday, and he was at this point in time unless something happens, they're not planning on anything happening.
Are all the guys going out of the shop? Because I know a couple of guys that work over there, like Greg Connor. I don't know if you know Greg.
If they're at the shop, probably not. I haven't gone to the shop, but I know the guys that usually out at the hauler by sight. We play a few poker games together. What was it? Last time we were playing?
Like every
what was it?
night.
Petanque or something like that we were playing last time?
I think it was.
Yeah, when we were in the holler.
And then the kids
and
started
Scott's
playing,
holler especially.
Yeah, and then the kids brought out and they were playing poker. I'm like, Roger, these kids playing poker. What in the world is this? So I ended up starting playing poker, and they were even beating me. I'm like, what is this? Like, how old were they? Like 7 and
10 or something.
7 and 10. And the girl ended up winning, but one of the moms helped her cheat though. And I was like, there's no way she got that good a hand that many times in a row. And I was like, wait a second, just cheating. What is this? It was fun though. It was lots of fun. Richmond was a lot of fun.
Well, I hate to see R3 go out.
Yeah, Robert's a good guy. Him, his dad, the guys that I've met, they've all been really, really good. Scott's been a really nice guy too. When we were at Richmond, and the last Richmond race, it was really, really rainy. We were like in Scott's in the rig the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there
nice.
just having a fun old time.
Yes, I got drenched.
Oh,
well, we had
sorry.
media passes too. We could go to the media center. So
I didn't have media passes for that one.
Oh.
So we should have gone down to Phoenix Racing, guys. And
I was in the Phoenix Racing, but half of them were standing outside too. They had a bunch of people there for the race, and the truck was full. So we were kind of out in there, and of course then the guy that was running for president, I don't know if I got him already, came through the garage area. Came through the garage area, and everybody had to run out there and stand in the rain and watch that. So
I thought I just stayed and hid. Didn't like neither one for what we could do to get out of them. Let's see here. NASCAR was able to be maintained in the fiscal cliff deal, which is simply the 7-year write-off on stuff that they do at their tracks. Marcos Ambrose re-signed back up with Richard Petty. And all those guys from the end of last year trying to crunch and piss off each other, they're all off probation.
Yes.
Know anybody like that?
Yeah, I know a couple of them.
A couple as in
Kurt
Yeah, Kurt Busch was one of them. Yeah.
Now, what were you telling me?
I like Kurt Busch though.
Now, what were you telling me about Brian? He's going to try to get a nationwide car or a cup car trying to run for Daytona. Keselowski.
He's going to do a cup car. He's got a Toyota. They've already got the car built. They're doing a fan thing on the car too, where they got fans' names on the car. But he's still trying to sell major sponsorship on the car. And he says he's going to Daytona regardless for that one race.
I'll have to give Brian a call, get him back on.
Yep.
Heard about Timothy Peters?
Well, he should still be with them, isn't he?
No, I'm just saying first baby.
Oh, yes. That was out there in Dew. That must be why I hadn't heard much from him. He's been busy being Papa.
Nah.
And let's see, Landon Castle got married? Somebody else, somebody else proposed.
Trevor Bain.
Trevor, that's right.
Trevor Bain.
Trevor did his proposal. Yeah, he sent me a tweet on that, and I shot him back when I told him it was about damn time.
I like
Get out of the
Trevor.
driver's meet and get on the track, boy.
I like Trevor. We did Hooters Cup racing when Trevor was doing Hooters Cup stuff.
Oh god, when he had won the Daytona 500, I was going to Martinsville after that, and they had fan appreciation down at the Wood Brothers place. Went out there and was going to do a video bite with him, which eventually I did, but they stayed out there forever. It was after midnight.
Good Lord.
When got that, and I was out there like at 7:30, and they had actually started it, I think, at about 5, between 2 and 5, and just about everybody stayed out there for the autographs. I mean, you had like 12 different people to get autographs from the Wood Brothers, Trevor, and whoever all else they had at the table, anybody in the organization.
Good.
I love the Wood Brothers. That's who my son started with when he went to NASCAR, was with the Wood Brothers.
Yeah, Lenny's a good guy. I talked with Lenny a bunch. In fact, him and I, we probably talked for about an hour out at Martinsville after that night. Ran into Trevor's dad. I said, "How's Trevor feeling this morning?" So I think we got home, got to sleep about 1:30. I says, well, lucky for you, my hotel was an hour away, so I didn't get to sleep till about 2 or 2:30.
Oh, Lord.
So, but he said he was in good spirits. It was fun.
That was a big thing for him, and I really, that
Yeah.
was good for the Wood brothers too, to keep their streak alive of having a winner every 10 years. They've had at least one win or something.
Big win. Good big win. Let's see here.
Alrighty.
All right. Anything else in the racing world you got caught up on that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, I see where you got the thing about James Finch right there, and he's going to run 18 races this year, as it stands right now. So
Reagan Smith from the Daytona 500.
they're trying to get a deal together with AJ Allmendinger for a couple
the
races
Dinger.
too. Word is Brian Scott is going to do a couple races for him.
Let's see, a whole bunch of updates here. Jeez.
Oh, Lord.
Now, this is interesting that I didn't know that they were going to go to the Chevy SS in Sprint Cup and going to stay at the Chevy Camaro
For Nationwide.
Nationwide.
Wow.
It's going to screw up a few things for some of the chassis builders, maybe.
Yeah, but still, whoa. Interesting.
That's a big change for them, because they were down to 3 cars at the end of the year. They had lost 24 cars during the year last year, and to have to come in and now have to redo a whole fleet of cars. I think that was the sticking point with James Finch, is what he was going to do at that point, because he wasn't sure.
That's like if you were Danica's Patrick's team owner. She probably did more of a percentage of wiping him out than.
Well, Kurt, when Kurt got in the car, he was determined he was going to take it to the front, whether it was a car good enough to go to the front or not. So.
It shows some muscle there in Infineon, though.
Yes, he did finish. He had a great finish there. He ran good on all the speedways.
Yep, he ran good on a lot of places, but just something wound up happening, and his luck was.
Well, when James Finch takes a car to a speedway race or a road course, they have a shot. I mean, they have a legitimate shot. Now, the mile and a half, and other than that, they're not quite there. They're not quite in the ballpark. But on the super speedway, they're there.
Good deal. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit better introduction here. Jack Dodson. Jack's been many hats and hands in many places in the racing world.
Yes, and love every minute of it.
Sure you do.
Anyway, go ahead and tell us a little bit of your background.
Well, start off with I have a lot of family that's in racing, and it's kind of born into my blood. I mean, it's just something we've been around all our life. And then as I was growing up and I had just gotten married and everything, and my dad decided when he turned 50 years old, let's build a race car.
Oh, wow.
So we went out, got a mini stock car, and the plan was I was going to drive it. And then I got promoted in my job, and I couldn't be there, so my brother drove it. But that's where we all got started with us. And then we kind of moved along from there. Of course, he went one way and I went another. I stayed in mini stocks. He kind of moved around into late models, or tried to go to late models. And then I got out of that and tried to give up the racing life. I tried it. I said, I'm done with it. My son was a baseball player. I thought he was going to play baseball.
Yeah, get you distracted from
But I live in an area where they do not promote baseball whatsoever. So after his last game of
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's not a good thing. But after his last game, he come over and handed me his equipment. He says, I'm done with baseball. I said, what are you going to do now? He said, I'm not really sure, but I think I want to go racing.
Oh.
So he and I took a trip to Charlotte, and he went to the Bobby Isaac Motorsports School there in Hickory.
Yeah.
And I got involved with him there, got involved with the guys there a little bit. And then as soon as that was over with, he graduated from there. He came back here and started working on the Hooters Cup team, and I kind of helped them out. Matt Miller and Travis Miller, they were starting their Hooters Cup car. Did that until they finally they kind of folded out, and then he went and started helping Woody Howard, and then he finally got a job with the Wood Brothers, and he's moved to Phoenix Racing, and I'm kind of hanging on his coattails, and whenever they need something done, I'll go help them. If they ask me to work on the car, I'll go work on the car. If they ask me to push the car, I'll push it, whatever they want me to do.
Yeah, whatever you need.
I just have a blast. And then, of course, I was doing some of the Facebook and their internet site and everything for a little while. And he left there and has gone to work for Michael Waltrip.
Oh, wow.
So that's a hit and miss of what goes on.
So,
Excuse me, I'm over here looking up stuff. I was just thinking, because you're talking about racing families and everything else. My father used to race with Richard and Lee Petty, and I, of course, did some racing too as well.
Yeah.
And so he also did stuff for, I don't know if you remember Lowry's Hell Drivers.
I remember hearing about that. I don't remember a whole lot
That's
about it.
from Bill Lowry, who's right outside Langley Speedway, that has his own little place over there.
Oh, okay.
So that's who they're talking about. And he used to do like the T-bone thing and a few other things like that. So he used to do a bunch of that. And I was just thinking about it, looking up see if there's any reference to it on the internet. Granted, that's really long, old-time stuff.
Well, a distant relative, a distant cousin of mine is Curtis Turner. Curtis Turner was a distant cousin of mine. I don't know if you've ever heard of Satch Worley run the Modifieds at one time. He's a cousin on my dad's side, and we're kin to Barry Dodson, and we got some other guys that are distant relatives that are in racing. But
oh yeah,
it's just in our blood. I mean, it's just the way I've been around it all the time
since you were little.
Since I was little.
Yeah, because when I grew up, of course, Raj and my family, mom always had on the races, and when you're around that, you take to it. It becomes a part of you. Once you see it, and you're surrounded by it, that gets in your blood and your system, and you can't shake it off. That's why I was kind of laughing a little bit when you're like, I'm going to be done with it, because once you're in racing, you really can't get out, because it's amazing. It's a fun thing. It really is.
I tried everything in the world to
living
stay away from
people. See, it just can't work.
My wife wanted me. She said, "This is a perfect time. Quit, get out of it, get away from it."
That ain't
and I did. I still watched it on Sundays. I watched it, but I got away from going to the racetracks. And now I'm right back in it. So
it's a good type of addiction, though. I mean,
it's not going to go anywhere.
It's not. It really isn't. Like, I loved racing, and I remember when I was little, them taking me to Langley and everything, the local track here, and especially when I saw that and seeing it so close, that's when it really sunk in. And I'm like, gosh, this stuff's just so cool. Like, I don't think I could ever do what they do. Like, it's incredible what these drivers do, but I have total respect for them and watching it, because it's a real thrill, and it's incredible. Some people are like, nah, I don't think. I'm like, just go to a live race or watch it. Just come with me to a live race, and I'm pretty sure you will be impressed. It'll make an impression of some type on you.
I'll tell you what, other new things that happened. Langley Speedway's resurfacing their track.
I saw that.
Anticipating a half a second to a second faster. Tony Stewart's going to be running the Chili Bowl, by the way. He did decline running the Indy 500 this year.
Really?
Reed Sorensen also got engaged.
I didn't know that one.
The Laura Frame, that was over the Christmas holidays. She's a kindergarten teacher.
Oh my, that's good.
And
cool.
Tony's got him a brand new truck, getting ready to run the truck race at Eldora.
Oh God, yes! I've already seen the testing on that.
Lord, here we go.
Let's see him and Dylan were out there testing.
Yeah, I saw the videos on the test, but Scott Bloomquist has bought a car to run, a truck to run at Eldora for the, and from what I've heard, in conversations that I've had with a couple of guys, they're expecting like 50 or 60 trucks to show up for that race.
Good Lord.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Everybody wants to be a part of that first truck race at Eldora. And
This is going to be good.
But, you know, granted,
It's gonna be good.
you and I both know the trucks are designed for the concrete walls where you can brush it a little bit.
mm-hmm.
But when you're out there running in dirt, and you watch the videos, they weren't getting up too awful close to that wall if they could help it, because those things, they touch it a little heavy like you would in a normal dirt late model or something like that. It's built for it.
The splitters and everything are coming off. They're
Yep.
taking the splitters off. They're trying to stiffen them up a little bit to be able to withstand, because they know it's going to go in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
It's going to be some truck owners' nightmares that day.
But it'll be a big deal. I mean, I'm planning on trying to get there for that race. So
that might be one I might take a shot at. Terry would be good to try to race at that.
Yes.
She could.
I because I was so sad and when we went to Knoxville that her car broke down, because I was so looking forward to see her race. I know she was awesome, especially with all you told me, everything I learned about her. I was looking forward to it, and I got so excited when her car came in. She told me it broke down. I was so upset. I was glad to see her even race a little bit in the go-karts. I would love to see her be able to do something like that, because me and you both would know she would be hauling and kicking some butt.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's incredible. She really is.
Oh, but yeah, it's just.
I'd love to see her do that.
That truck
That'd
race
be
is going to
good.
be awesome.
Wednesday night.
yes, on a Wednesday night. I can't wait.
Skipping the show.
I can't wait. I'm gonna have to be there for that one. So
Sorry, Raj.
But we'll have to set up the TV down here and set
We're
it
gonna
up.
watch it with you folks now.
There you
The
go.
race is starting.
We can do all that stuff. I mean, hey,
That'd be awesome.
got all the extra cameras and everything. You're sitting there and say, "Oh no, there's so and so into the wall."
And there goes that one.
Sucks to
He's
be
spinning
him.
out.
Well,
Yeah, as
that-
Roger would say, it sucks to be you.
Well, it's going to be a good. I think the Dillon boys are going to be.
Oh yeah,
They're going to be tough. So
there's going to be a lot of dirt guys going to be out there. Going to be, and it's going to be interesting. You know, granted, there's still going to be. I can't remember that there were some changes that are supposed to have been coming down about the qualifying rules. Is you're not no longer going to have the top 35.
all that's gone. That's gone.
Wow.
So there's a chance that
You pull the peel now, just like it used to be. You pull the peel, and that's where you qualify. No top 35s. They've decreased the fields in the nationwide. They're not going to be. I think
43.
they cut that back from 43 to 40 cars now in nationwide, and I think they're going. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. I think Sprint Cup's doing it too.
Oh.
I don't think they're going to cut back.
Yeah, I mean.
There's still too many people that will still do the start and park for the money. I mean, I think it was only one or two races that they had exactly 43 cars. All the rest of them they had 45 or more. So they still got plenty of room to keep that going. I mean, start and park still pays good.
Yep, I mean, it pays the bills. I mean, that's how you got to get in the door to.
Yep.
Look at David Strimmy now. He's got a full-time sponsor, and somebody bought the team, and
Which is
they're
awesome
they're
for
going to
him.
go full-time.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Robert hasn't said if they're thinking about selling off anything yet or not. They're just simply going to stop racing for now, unless some sponsorship drums up. So.
Well, I was glad to see David get, because I know I used to hang out with a couple guys that worked for David Strimmy, and they hated that start and park stuff. I mean, but they had to do what they had to do.
You do what you got to do.
But they hated it. I mean, they knew they had
Probably
a
not
car.
the only ones.
They knew they had a car that was good.
What used to get me is like Michael McDowell would get out there, qualify in the top 15, and have to do a start and park because that's what team orders.
Yep.
You know, and it sucks because literally you've got a chance to make.
But then watch Michael McDowell in a Nationwide car. He's driving Joe Gibbs' Nationwide car at some races, and he runs up front all the time. You know? So that's really, that has to really be a bad situation for him. I mean, I've seen him qualify as high as 4th and 5th in a Cup race, and then have to start and park. That's.
Yeah, what was it?
That's how it is, you know.
Brendan Newberry. They've teamed up and now have.
Yeah, they were Joe Danette.
Yeah, we've had him
Joe
on the
Danette
show
now.
before.
They've combined forces. Hopefully, well, I can't say that. They usually produce pretty good cars out of their group already. So teaming up, hopefully create even a stronger set for those guys. So they're going to have Ron Hornaday still running.
Right.
Brennan will be running full time too, which is
There's going to be some new changes in the truck in some of the truck teams this
but
year.
we were the ones that got to announce that officially live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've known Brennan for a while, so
We got to do that.
yeah, it was
that's
fun.
cool.
So right after we announced it, everything hit Twitter and Facebook.
It was like, it's like, oh boy.
It's-
Set a
That's
fire.
that's the way it works.
I know. As soon as he announced it, and all of a sudden I started getting my Twitter started popping up, from
And
people.
I was like, put your phone on.
Well, I sure hope I hope he does good with that. I mean, the Nets got the money to make it happen, so that'd be a good deal for them.
Yeah, it'll be fun too because he'll probably swing up here since he'll be closer to us now instead of out in California.
Yeah.
Oh, out in
Yeah,
Cali. I
come
hope we get to have him on the show.
He'll pop up here for a couple of live shows.
Good. I'll have to come down for that. Hopefully I won't have youth or anything in the way so I can come down.
We who knows, we might set up for one time and go back out again to the NASCAR Sports Grill or something. We used to do some shows from out there. The only problem with those shows, they were about 2.5, 3 hours long. We would have so many people that would come to
But
it.
it's good and fun. Lots of fun.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Oh, it was as good as sitting around to the NASCAR Legends guys when they sit down and talk about the old tall tales
What
of
you
racing.
do is you say, hey, tell us some stories. You put the mic there and you can walk away for a little bit, have yourself a snack, and then by the time you come back, the show's still going great. Okay, come
Been
back
there,
an hour
done that.
later,
Been there, done
and
that.
they're still talking, and then it's like, okay, guys, that's a wrap. That was great. Awesome. And you say, thanks for watching. Click. And you get a great show out of that.
It was. I went to the Wood Brothers several times while my son was working there, and to hear Leonard Wood tell some of the stories
Oh, we've had
that he
here.
tells, and him and my son. My son is the one who got him to buzz his hair and
Oh.
because he would go say, "What kind of gel do you use on your hair to make it stand up like that?" That's what my son does.
Oh.
And Leonard went to him and asked him about it. So I mean, and to hear him talk some of the things he says, it's really funny. I have a blast.
You'll have to look back through our previous shows on the YouTube and find the one we had Leonard on.
Mm-hmm.
He's something else. I really liked him. And then to come to find out that we went up to like you went up to the fan appreciation thing in Stewart.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the fan appreciation thing, but I went up to the shop in Stewart and was talking with Glenn there, and come to find out he knows my grandfather and his brothers. They all hung out together.
Oh, wow.
Because my grandfather is from that area.
Yeah, it's
I
strange.
didn't, it's just really funny.
Small world, ain't it?
You start reaching in and find out who knows who. Like I have a friend of mine that I've known for a long time. He hunts with Elliott Sadler's dad, and sometime Elliott Sadler they go out hunting out there in the western part of Virginia.
Yeah.
So it's
Things like that. It's like, wow.
6 degrees of separation, as they say. JJ texted me, said he's going to be a little bit late. He's trying to
I
finish
see that
up
because
dinner.
it is.
He's trying to finish up dinner.
Ah.
Who's your favorite driver growing up?
I was going to ask that. Stealing my questions over there.
ESPN too.
Darrell Waltrip.
EW.
I was always, because everybody else didn't like him, I liked him.
Jaws.
And I grew up I really liked the guy. I mean, he was. I like Kurt Busch too, so I don't know what that says about me either. But
Yeah, it's okay.
No,
I
I really
like Kurt fan too. It's all right.
Kurt is a good guy. And
Yeah.
I got to know him really well this past year. And
The sad problem is with a lot of people, they see all the drivers in front of the cameras.
Mm-hmm. They don't get to sit down
Something's
with them.
crashed. Yeah, they're pissed. It's reactions, and granted, you're not going to be always guard your reactions. The time to get to know these guys is away from that stuff.
well, you tear up $100,000 race car, and you're gonna stick a microphone in my face and say something. What I might not be so pleasant
I
about
don't
what
think
comes out of my
anybody
mouth.
would be pleasant with that.
But to know him personally, to know Kurt personally, and I can say I actually do, he's completely different than what is perceived on the racetrack. Now, he can get rung up.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a conversation with him where he can get rung up. but he will. But when he's in that frame of mind and in that mode,
Oh yeah.
he's out there. I mean, he's really out there.
Us race car drivers in the room here, we all
Yep.
know how that can be.
Scooting out of that picture.
Yeah, we just shift cameras on you and you're out of it.
But he's a good guy. I mean, when my son left Phoenix, and he kind of looked out for him. So I mean, I was really, was really impressed with him because he really made an effort for his guys.
What's for you in your future? What do you perceive to be happening?
Well, right now I'm not really positive where I'm going. I'm still doing my Facebook stuff. I've got a lot of people that take pictures for me. I go out and take pictures. I go to the practice sessions. I go to the test sessions. If I can find somebody to help, I'll go out there and help them. Just, but my son is now with Michael Waltrip. It's not exactly like Phoenix Racing where you could just walk in and do what you want to, but that's what I hope to be doing. That's get somebody to get around him. And get back and I'm doing it. I'm retired. I'm doing it for fun. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's a good way to do it.
I love it.
That sounds great.
I love it.
That really does sound awesome. Like being able to do that and go all those races and meet these drivers, like you said, getting to know them personally. That's the really fun part. Because when I met Robert, like when he's in that trailer, he was he's a really fun guy. And like when you he's a really good guy in general. And like you said, like when you see Kyle and Kurt and all them on the camera, you're usually seeing them after wrecks, after something bad's happened, and then the media will take and twist things around and make up all this junk and stuff. And it's like, you're only seeing the person in front of the camera. You don't get to see them when they're like he said, like back in the hauler where they're relaxing in themselves and they're not worrying about press shoving like a million mics in their face and seeing them after crashes and all that.
That's my new thing right there that you're showing right there.
But Roger is going through pictures of people we have on the show as usual. Aww, who is that?
That is my grandson.
That's
my first grandson.
Has pictures of his grandson. That is the cutest
thing.
thing.
He is unbelievable. I mean, I never thought a grandchild would get to me like he did.
You check out his little shirt there.
Oh, look who it is, y'all. How do you work this again? I forgot.
Push the speaker button.
The speaker button? Okay. Hi, it's Let's Talk Racing.
Hello? What do you want to talk about?
Football!
We're going to talk about football.
Hockey!
Yeah, football and hockey. That's what this show's about. Yeah, no. So how you doing, JJ?
Holy cow, it's like I called into a party line.
That's about what it is here.
That's what it is. It's always a party.
You'll have to check it out later on YouTube and see what all you missed.
There you go. I'm doing fantastic. Just enjoying life here in Charlotte. It's cold here. Of course, I think it's colder somewhere else, so we're not having too bad.
Yeah, it's cold pretty much everywhere right around this time.
Yeah, we just had the warmest year last year. What's it going to be this year? Is it going to be the coldest year?
Who knows? It's Virginia. Weather changes like every 5 minutes here. You know that.
Yeah. It's like sponsors on race cars. Right, JJ?
We're not worried about weather. We're just worried about going racing.
There you go.
That sounds great. Now, for people since you're people who are new to the show, JJ, why don't you tell some people about yourself and your racing and what all you've done and some future plans that you have?
Wow. Well, I'm a Libra. I enjoy.
All right.
No one's ever said that before. You're the first to do that. That's great.
I've raced pretty much. I mean, I'm 36 now. Getting up there in age, but I mean, I've raced pretty much anything and everything that's been around. I've been in the Indianapolis 500. I was the youngest starting rookie ever for a while. Anyway, some other punk kid came out there that was younger than me, but that was 1998, which seems like an eternity ago.
That's awesome.
By 13th, finished ninth. I'm a 5-time USAC champion, which is midgets or sprint cars, the Silver Crown. I'm one of 5 to win the Triple Crown, which is all 3 divisions in 1 year. Me and Tony Stewart are the only 2 to do it in 1 season. And this is always where I rub it into Tony because we're good friends. But when I did it, obviously, actually, what I did, I was driving a sprint car team that I started for him. But I won I won 24 races, which had actually broken a record set by AJ Foyt at 19 single season wins in USAC. And I think Tony had only won like 15. So I was, I rubbed that in. Of course, he comes up with his multiple Sprint Cup championships, his IRL championships. Then he just starts throwing, baggage at you. But I'm a racer. I love racing anything. I mean, last year midgets, I run some sprint cars. Even though going and doing the Sprint Cup schedule pretty much eliminates doing too much extracurricular activity racing.
Yeah. We do have a question from a fan that Roger just put up. They want us to ask if you're going to run at Eldora.
For the inaugural truck race or just in general?
Yes, the truck race, of course.
I think it would be a lot of fun. I do have some questions about, what they're going to do as far as the trucks, if they're going to make everyone keep to, more of the truck conventional suspension, or, if you're going to get some guys that are going to build some pretty elaborate trucks that are going to more resemble, like a dirt late model with suspension. So,
well, Jack will help you
I would love the opportunity. I've raced plenty enough different types of race cars at Eldora. It's a super fun racetrack. I think you're going to see a pretty diverse group of drivers show up for that inaugural race. And I watched the YouTube clip.
Everybody has.
Tony run, and just seeing the difference between Tony run and even I don't know which one of the Dillon kids it was. It might have been Ty.
It's Ty.
But I mean, there was a pretty significant difference. So when you take a guy like Ty, who's a great late model driver, it looked like he was probably a half a second slower than what Tony was running. So I'm sure you'd see a lot of cautions. There'll be some strategy. I'm sure the racetrack will probably get pretty slick. There'll be nothing like you saw in that YouTube clip for the people that go to Eldora on a regular basis. It's not very often that you get to see mud at that place, so it'll be interesting to see what the track conditions are going to be like.
Well, JJ, what I heard was that they're not going to do a whole lot of changing on the trucks for the race, except dropping the splitter off and maybe doing some right side, building up the right side of the trucks a little bit, because they're expecting a lot of wall damage. But that's what I've heard. They're not going to do a whole lot of changing with the trucks because they don't want to go into that expense.
Sure. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of damage, and it'll be more than just right side that's going to happen during that race. But, it's definitely a very cool thing to see. And that Tony pulled off. Obviously it's always been, kind of a joke that, you need to get it back on dirt, and the fact that they were able to do it, and then they're going to come do it at his racetrack, it's going to be fun. And it'll be way more exciting than, I know ARCA still goes and runs the Springfield Mile, and they also still run the Bitcoin Mile. But the racing is probably not, you're not going to see side by side racing at those events, and they're usually really rubbered down, and they're more follow the leader than they are anything else.
Well, I heard Scott Bloomquist has got him a truck, and he's going up there too. So that they're going to have some dirt ringers up there.
Oh, absolutely. You know that there's going to be some, and because of the way it falls on the race weekend, I think at the same time as we're in Indy, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
I believe so. Isn't it, Raj?
It's only a 2-hour drive, so I know it's probably only a 20-minute helicopter ride. So there's going to be plenty enough guys hopping in the helicopter to shoot over there and give it a shot.
That sounds good.
JJ, what Cup teams have you drove for since you've been driving in Cup?
I started out my career with Joe Gibbs Racing. I spent 4 years there. Went to Hall of Fame Racing with them for about a year, and then we parted ways, and they actually shut down right afterwards. And then, in 2009, I actually was in a sprint car accident that I injured my neck in, so I had to have 2 vertebrae fused, and that kind of took me out of commission for 6 to 8 months, and that kind of put a hurt on everything. But I've driven for I joined Dusty Whitney's team about 4 years ago. Been jumped around. I was a front row for a while. Last year, Robinson Blakeney Racing before I moved on to try to get out of the category of a start and park driver, and now I'm currently back with Tommy Baldwin Racing. I ran for him a couple years ago, and that looks to be what we're shooting for as far as moving forward into 2013. They're getting cars built and ready. I know they're trying to get a car together for the Daytona test coming up here pretty quick with Dave, while I'll be in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Chili Bowl next week.
Good deal.
Yeah, that sounds great.
JJ, I got a quick question for you. Do you get more goosebumps going through Indy for an IndyCar race or a NASCAR race down there?
It's amazing. You think about the Indy cars, and like when we ran there, I think the pole speed was like 223. I qualified 219. In those cars, at that speed, you really can't even tell how fast you're going. I mean, obviously until something bad happens, but the fans really make the Indianapolis 500 such a special event. I know that when I ran there, obviously it was a long time ago, it was still a sellout crowd. It was still about 3 weeks long as far as from rookie orientation to the actual 500. The amount of people that went through the Speedway and the fans that came through it were awesome. Obviously the NASCAR races, still a packed house, but it's just a different atmosphere. They don't do quite as much to let the fans in. Of course, we're only there for 3 days too. So, as far as just kind of making the little hairs in the back of your neck stand up, doing the Indianapolis 500, we'll make it do. We'll make that happen when you walk out on the front straightaway before they start that race.
Hey, JJ, quick question for you. Which vertebrae were at 5th and 6th?
They were my 4th and 5th.
Okay. It must be a pretty bad area because I actually have my bones fused in my neck, my 5th and 6th vertebrae.
Yeah, it was. And actually, when it happened, it wasn't very painful to me. I was unconscious just for a short amount of time, and the most painful thing I went through was trying to the nurse trying to get me the IVs as I was transferring from one ambulance to the other. But it was a really simple procedure. I went in here in Charlotte. I think I went in at 7 o'clock in the morning. They went through the front of my neck, which was kind of odd. But by noon, I was fused together, sewn up, or glued together, and back on my way home. And I haven't had any problems since. And they tell me that I'm stronger now than I was before the accident. So.
Yeah, totally familiar with all of that. Actually, the reason they go through the front is because the back of your spine has more bone protection, and it's harder to work around than it is to work around from the front.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that big a deal. Going through everything. The only thing that worries you is when you have to read the disclaimer list before they take you there and they knock you out. When they tell you, you can come out and you could actually, voice could be real squeaky, or I figured I was going to come out and sound like Minnie Mouse or something. But everything went back together like it was before it all started.
That's good. Congratulations on that recovery, because stuff like that's hard to get through.
It is, and of all the years I've been racing, when I started racing professionally at the age of 14, I had been in an accident, I think in 2000, where I slipped pretty bad and cracked a bone in my arm, and that was, up until the accident from my neck, that had been the worst injury I'd ever sustained in any kind of race car. So, I've been pretty lucky as far as that's concerned.
Well, I'll tell you what, at least when you had yours, you had it with a lot more newer technology than I had to deal with. Mine was back in the late 80s.
And I'm definitely thankful that I was able to see good doctors, and Dr. Petty, which I think he's actually getting ready to retire, but he's done a great job to take care of a lot of NASCAR and IndyCar drivers over the years. He got me directed to a great doctor, and got me taken care of in a pretty quick manner.
That's all it takes is make sure you got good help on that stuff.
For 2013, this coming year, are you set with Baldwin to run the full season?
That's the plan. We've got some releases that are going to come out here shortly, so obviously I can't give out too much information, but we do have sponsors in place, and everything is looking very, very good moving forward into 2013. And that's obviously the biggest struggle for any of these teams anymore is trying to find the backing it takes to go out there and run the entire season. And Last year I've been bouncing around where I've been able to run some races, but not get to run all of them. So it's going to be a nice change to get back to where you're going out there and giving your all for the entire race every week, and obviously the physical conditioning has to be a little bit better. And a lot of people don't realize that having to be a NASCAR driver, you definitely have to be an athlete to go out there and perform at the level that we do for 3.5 to 4.5 hours. It's definitely very vigorous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we promise that we won't tell anyone, by the way.
Tell anyone
about what some of your deals you got going.
Some
We
of the
won't
things
tell
you got
anybody.
going.
Honest, we won't.
Yeah, Raj wanted to make sure that I put that in there. That we promise we won't tell anybody. That never happened. The fact the show's live, just throw that out.
Have you drove the new cars any this year so far?
No, I have not. I've not been able to drive any of the. I guess they call them the Gen 6. I know based on the test that they had a couple of weeks ago in Charlotte. Obviously the cars were very, very fast. They were. I think NASCAR is still trying to iron out some of the changes that they want to make with the car moving forward. But listening to the input of all the drivers, everyone was definitely happy with the way the cars drove, and I think they got another test coming up pretty quick there at Charlotte again. So it's going to be interesting to see what when NASCAR comes up with for their final rule selection. But so far there's been a lot of great reviews with the new car over the COT car over the last 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot better looking.
Yeah, we were.
There's nothing better than going out and seeing a truly cool looking race car when you have to jump in and go out there and battle 42 other guys.
Yeah, you tell me about it.
I know you had that Tommy had a car in the wind tunnel either yesterday or I guess it was today. Yesterday being New Year. Have you heard anything about how all that worked out? How good it was in the wind tunnel as far as drag and everything?
Well, look at you all simple. If you got all this inside information.
Yeah, he's our inside guy. This is how we find everything else with this guy right here. Just give him a call and he lets us know all the inside stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow you on Twitter so I can keep up with all the little things, all the ins and outs of what's going on in the NASCAR. But that's it for me. I can't give you that. Anyway.
You're giving too much
I was
away.
just wondering if it was good or was there more that needed to be done?
It was the best of the year. How about that?
Okay, all right. That's good enough for me. I like it.
We'll leave it at that, huh?
You're giving too much away. Gosh.
So JJ, hometown's Phoenix, Arizona?
Yeah, hometown Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh wow.
It's not for me growing up as a young racer, I spent a majority of my career racing in California. The sprint cars when I started racing were all Southern California, so I spent a majority of my life driving across the nasty desert from Phoenix to Southern California and even Central California. So, I definitely had earned my miles before I was probably 18 years old. So, it was a typical trip for me. Was the short trips were 5 hours, the long ones were 14 hours. So, I missed a lot of school as a high school student, traveling back and forth.
Oh, wow. That's cool that that's in Phoenix, because I'm going to be heading there this summer for some mission work, so that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great town, and my parents still live there, so I have my family there. PIR, it's changed so dramatically over the past 2 years since they reconfigured the racetrack. But I remember as a kid back in the late '80s or early '90s going out there, and there was cactus and desert inside the infield, and drive around on our bicycles racing as a race car racing. And I'll say now as a grown up and as a professional race car driver, getting to go there and compete is a lot of fun. So hometown track always get a great welcome from all the fans. So I love going there. Glad that we have two NASCAR races there every year.
You ever get any of them devil dogs from Bashes?
Do I ever get any what?
Devil dogs. The pastry out there at Bashes.
What?
You ever heard of them?
My problem is, being from Phoenix, I love Mexican food, so...
Now, what about that hot dog place?
It changes dramatically, so usually when me and my family are there, it's Mexican food or In-N-Out, or our 2 meals for the 4 or 5 days that we're there, so you got to get so sick of it though when you go back that you don't crave it. But we definitely fill up on that while we're there.
Now, the In-N-Out place, is that the hot dog place we always hear everybody talking about?
No, we don't have hot dogs in
That's
there.
In-N-Out
Burgers.
Oh, okay.
You're off, Roger. Way up.
I knew it was In-N-Out, something.
Hey, that's the place to go when you're in California and in Phoenix. With the
Yeah, I
In-N-Out
hear
burger.
that.
All right, I'm gonna write that down.
Al Pierce tells me about that all the time.
I think Wiener Schnitzels is the place. That's the hot dog stand. if you're into hot dogs, which that's your prerogative, but you're never one of those places.
So you make sure you eat after your race?
Hey, somebody had a question for you earlier. You said something about going to the Chili Bowl. Is that going to be your own car, or are you driving for somebody else?
I'm driving my own car. I've run for a handful of different owners for that race, but this is I think this is the 27th year of the Chili Bowl. I've competed in I think maybe 18 or 19 of them, and I've been to all but 2 since I was a kid. So I'll be taking my own car. I have TRD has given me an engine to use. It's a bad piece. It's got a lot of power. American Digital Racing, Offseason Speedway, we got some great sponsors come on board. So, I mean, you talk to any fan that gets to go see a lot of different racing, that's probably one of the top 3 most popular races of any racing in the United States. It's a week-long event. When you walk in that building, it's like going to Las Vegas. It's the same at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 2 o'clock in the morning when you leave after the races, and it's I think it's a party with a race going on is usually what you see what happens there. But nonetheless, it could be freezing outside, but in that building it's always about 60, 65 degrees, and everyone's had a lot of fun.
Good deal.
All right. Wow.
Now, we're going to have to keep you back on the show again because you're a good person to have on here, JJ.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Well, next time I'll make sure that I clear my schedule. I apologize for being a couple minutes late, but
hey,
It's okay.
we've had times we'll have somebody call in and then somebody else decides to call in to surprise the person that called in, and then before we know it, all the phone lines are busy, and I've got people texting me bitching because they can't get on the phones.
Well, maybe I'll come back on a show whenever we're ready to announce all these great sponsors we got coming off in 2013.
That sounds good.
That sounds great.
And later on, when we get on the radio show, you can text me all my the numbers from the wind tunnel to me, so I can.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be down there in a couple of days. It won't be long. I'll let you know.
See, he knows everything. Lord.
Well, my son works for Michael Waltrip, so
He also has more information.
so I get
Goodness.
I get a little scoop every now and then.
A little? You mean like big?
How do my
Everything?
numbers compare to Clint Boyer's car then? Well, again?
I haven't heard how Clint's went through there yet.
No. One thing he doesn't know.
All right. Well,
Matter of fact,
if you're sharing my information, you got to share it all.
well, I'll share it all when I get it, but I don't even think they didn't even have a car for the Charlotte test, in the first Charlotte test, and they're just now getting a car ready for the Daytona test.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a struggle for a lot of the teams and getting parts, and I think you had a lot of teams, especially the smaller teams, trying to hold off on doing too much just for the fact of not really knowing exactly where NASCAR was going to go with the rules, because you go out there and buy a specific number of rear ends or a different part for the car that at some point before the season starts, NASCAR say, well, we're going to go a different direction. We're not going to allow that one. And, all of a sudden you wasted time and money and effort on something that you can't use for 2013. So, I think the biggest thing is once NASCAR gets everything figured out, it's going to get these teams moving a little bit quicker. And, normally in a situation like this when you have a new car, you got all these teams trying to prepare. Just not enough.
Well, don't forget to thank your sponsors before you leave now.
What happened last year with the fuel injection, and obviously it's going to happen again with the new car. So, again, everyone survived and we're ready for Daytona and put on a great race.
Well, we're looking forward to it. I like the way the cars look and everything. They were really good in the Charlotte test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. Except they're definitely cool race cars, and with the shape of the cars, it's going to it should eliminate the 2-car tandem drafts going into the speedway races. So, I think it's going to make it exciting and get it back to where you're going to have 3 and 4 wide racing and usual excitement of speedway racing.
They will be Chevys for Tommy Baldwin this year, right?
That's correct.
And you're still getting your motors from Richard Childress?
We for the speedway races, yes, we'll be using the ECRs, and then Tommy has his other engines for the rest.
Oh, okay.
Just keep it on top of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good. You got it all under control.
We're still trying to get you to accidentally throw something out there. You never know. But we promise not to tell anybody.
Raj, give it away. Gee, that was gonna be lots of fun. Now we can't do anything. Gee.
Oh, quit your whining.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, JJ, it was really nice having you on. You got any sponsors you want to thank here at the end?
3 times charge.
Sure. They got. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but nice try.
I had a note for everybody here to try it anyway. Hey, got a question before you do go. And I don't think we actually had a chance to ask you, what do your parents think about when you got into all this?
Well, my dad raced. I mean, my dad got me started. I went to my first race, and I was 3 weeks old. So, I mean, it's been a part of my life since I was born into this world. But, my dad raced for many years. I started racing quarter midget to go-kart when I was about 9. And, my mom was actually the president of the association when I started racing midgets in Arizona. So it's been a family-grown deal, and I raced for my family for a long, long time before I moved up through the ranks. So, they're used to it. It's just kind of part of life. Racing life, a little bit different, but...
Not much of fun.
All right, well, we're going to shut down the show, let you go ahead and, I presume, go back to either having dessert or...
No, they threw me out of the restaurant because it was making too much noise, so...
Hey, let me tell you who else had that problem. Kenny Wallace. Talking about getting in late. He forgot to call us one night, and about 5 minutes to 10 minutes later, he finally called, and he totally blew his mind. He was sitting there eating Chinese food at the restaurant and had to go outside because he was too loud in there too. But you know how Kenny gets.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised that someone walking outside walked in and telling him to go move too. But great bunch of people.
All right. Well, welcome to the new year, and we hope everything goes good for you.
I appreciate it very much. I'll keep in touch with you.
All right. Have a good one, JJ.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I push the speakerphone right. Okay. I got it. Yay.
Who said you can't train blondes?
Whoa. This is not blonde for information.
Oh, that's right. Blonde wannabe. I forgot.
Excuse me. I'm not. You're mean, Rod. You're mean.
Nah.
Yeah, but wait. You're never mean. You're just so...
I'm so nice.
Yes, you are.
I allow you to be here, right? And you get to go to a lot of places you never had before.
Oh, well. No need to rub it in now, Jimmy Rod.
Anyway, Jack, it was nice having you here tonight.
I appreciate it. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, we should have to make you into a once a month or once every other week thing. Come in here.
Yeah.
Call me, I'll be here.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing.
You know who would be good with you? I don't know if you know Al Pierce or not.
Yes, Al.
Yeah.
Al would be great. Al's my buddy.
I know Al real well.
Oh, God.
Oh, that'll be good. That's one of those things where we could say, hey, guys, exchange stories.
And we'll walk out and let them go.
We'll let you guys take over the show that night, right?
Well, I just, I love doing it. That's what I do. I sit around and I go down to Charlotte and roam around in the shops, and I got people that kind of feed me a little bit of information here and there, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of fun for me. I mean, and like I knew that car was in the wind tunnel today.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You'll have to send me the info, and I'll send it over to JJ or something.
Well, I might get my hands on it. You never can tell.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
I enjoyed it. I went to the wind tunnel with Phoenix last year and spent the day over there with them. and it was really something interesting. I've never been to a wind tunnel test, and it was something else. And see all the
sounds
equipment,
really cool.
all the equipment they've got. It was.
Now
something.
these are the ones that they've got down there now that they've built.
It's in Mooresville, Aerodyne down in Mooresville, and it is unbelievable.
Yeah, because I remember when they used to come up here to Langley.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I always got notifications from friends that worked at NASA. Said, okay, so and so is going to be out here today, and yada yada yada. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
Good deal.
Yep, bird.
But anytime, give me a call.
All right, sounds
I'll be right here.
Yeah,
And you
great.
remember next time you get to go to supper after.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and hopefully everybody, Mayan calendar thing has gone by. Everybody survived that.
I want to find a new one.
There was actually something on the show on Discovery Channel that they had a new, different thing. I didn't stay up late long enough to watch it all because it was like to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh Lord.
So, but anywho, there was some new. How you want to
information?
Well,
decoding from
yeah,
it.
new decoding of all the hieroglyphics or Mayan glyphics.
I'm glad you watch good stuff like that, because I get caught up in the Moonshiners and Duck Dynasty. I don't
now, here's the bad part, okay? Here's the bad part. A lot of these shows you see are all done with it's acting. It's not real true life stuff, especially the ones with the parking wars and the repos. It's all done. I mean, like there was one where they did the guys, some of the junkyard stole the guy's $60,000 truck. You know, the one that kicks out the thing and snags the car and they haul ass. They took it, put it in a crusher. And I said, "You're kidding me!" And I went to look up the different series. And that's when I started finding out all the stuff was fake. It was actually part of the thing. And
it's got some of that stuff has to be, but it is so funny to watch. And knowing that I have my family comes from moonshine, so you know I really get a kick out of listening to it and watching it. So
now that's the thing. I've been around moonshine before myself. Now I never knew if my father really had anything to do with that stuff when he was a lot younger, because like I said, he used to do stunt driving and race car driving. He was out at China Grove.
Come on now.
Well, I have my grandfather's brother was in Franklin County. This is where that moonshine show is basically based out of, is Franklin County. They still have their moonshine cars. They had locked up in a building back there. And I just happened to go out there and run across it, so that's where I found out about it.
Probably Junior Johnsons are out there somewhere.
But then come to find out, my grandfather got run out of Franklin County because of the moonshine, went to West Virginia and became a chief of police.
Now that chief of police got connections.
Yeah.
Now that's priceless.
We're going to have a party.
So that's my story.
And you're sticking to it.
Oh
God! No,
hey, here's something she didn't ask you, and you didn't ask JJ either.
What?
Your show question.
The embarrassing moment. Oh no!
When you were racing, did you have an embarrassing moment that you remember?
What was your most embarrassing moment that you can remember? And please don't be shy. We've heard lots of things so far.
I think he's already got it ready.
Yeah, I had a couple of embarrassing moments. The most embarrassing moment was I had a bunch of guys helping me with a race car.
Oh boy!
And I was late getting to the racetrack one night. Put the steering wheel on. I did not check it.
Oh.
And I went out for my qualifying run. And I come out of turn 3 at Southampton. And the steering wheel was up here.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, this is not going to be good. And somehow or other I managed to jam it back on there and spin it through the infield.
What?
On a qualifying run. That was embarrassing.
I've had a couple too. Like I'd come through and there'd be something happen on the track, or somebody bounced into you and you got sent to the back. You know, nothing's really wrong with the car, but hey, you're going to be at the back. You might as well run back in, and somebody will come up, pop down to the window net to talk to me, and not thinking about it, they don't put it back up, and they say go, and I'm gone. And next thing you know, here's the officials black flagging me to go back in just to get the window net back up.
Well, I hit the wall at Southampton one time. You know, in mini stocks, a lot of guys handmade their rims. They didn't go out and buy the rims. They've extended regular
Right.
rims. Well, a guy gave me a whole set of those, and I'm out there in practice, and it breaks, and I hit the wall. The tire is gone off the front end, but I didn't know it at the time until it landed on top of the car. That's when I realized it was off the front end.
Remember the Enduro races at Langley?
Oh yes.
One of the guys working on one of the cars, because I could only race Enduro races during the winter time. Because if you were a late model driver, you couldn't run that and this too. So anyway, was out there running, and somebody had taken the lug nuts off the right wheels, put them back on, put on metrics instead of SAE.
Oh.
So ran about maybe 30, 40 laps, and going into turn 4, all of a sudden one of the tires just went. And the right tire, the back tire, was cocked, almost ready to come off too.
We used to do, well, I didn't do them. A lot of guys I knew used to do the chain races at Southampton when they did the chain races.
Oh, yeah.
When Jason Rudd was up there one night doing the chain racing, and that did not go over well because he wasn't supposed to be out there.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez. Jason, I haven't seen him in a while. We work on his daddy's computers down there at the salvage yard.
I see them every now. That's why I see AJ there a lot, but I don't see him at all. So.
Huh. One time we were trying to get the old cup car they had out there. I forget who it belonged to.
The Cliff Champions?
Nah. Oh goodness. 33 car? Who used to be in the 33 car a long time ago?
Gant was in it.
Gant. It was
Gant.
Gant's car.
I didn't know you had that one out there like that.
Well, at least that's what they told me. They still had it back, and this was probably about 7 years ago. They still had the engine sitting out there for it too. But couldn't really use it for anything other than maybe ARCA racing back then. But anywho,
Anyways,
we started to close down the
we
show.
started to close. Let's see if we can do this now.
That was 10 minutes ago.
Yes,
We're terrible.
We would like to thank you guys for watching the show tonight, and we will definitely have you back on hopefully again. We hope y'all have had a great start to your new year, and that it will continue to be that way. Bye, everybody.
See ya!
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive 42 car on the thing, Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brehm.
Hi, this is David Flens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway Track Champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive 42 car on the thing, Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.